Today I'm going to show you how to make pizza rustica. It goes by a few different names. It's basically like an antipasto in an eggy cake. My mother would either make it with pizza dough or she would use pie crust. I got these crescent rolls. I wanted to buy like the full sheet that they sell, but I picked up the wrong ones, but we're gonna still make it work. I'm gonna just peel it apart and stick it together. These doughs are very forgiving and they're great to keep in your fridge. Also, I make it in a springform pan. Once it's fully cooled, you can take it out and it sits nicely on a plate. So let's start. Plenty of different variations for this. This is how my mother used to make it. So basically you choose whatever meat you want. I have sweet supersad, I have ham, I have some Genoa salami, and I have some chunky pepperoni. For cheese, I'm using grated cheese. I use the Locatelli brand. I'm using a half of this shot provolone, a half of this brick of mozzarella, about 4 or 5 eggs. I have about a cup and a half of ricotta. This is whole milk ricotta that I had sitting in like a strainer with the cheesecloth to get some of the moisture out. Huge bowl of parsley. I feel like you need the fresh parsley in this. It's a very heavy dish and that kind of just like brightens it up a little bit. Salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, you know, the usual. So let me chop this stuff up and then we will come back and we'll put it all together. All right, we got our bowl. First things first, we want to put the ricotta in. So let's start with 5 eggs. I'm gonna do a ton of black pepper. I need to get one of those mechanical ones. Nope, still here, churning my pepper. I feel like I like that chunky pepper bite, you know? Salt. Now, this does have a lot of cured meats, which tends to be salty, so watch your salt. So when I was growing up, my mother would use the basket cheese for this instead of the ricotta. If you can get basket cheese, use that. I'm sure I can get it if I really looked for it, but the ricotta works just fine. This is a very hefty dish. The parsley. Okay, so I am gonna add another egg to this. So altogether, we're gonna be using 6 eggs for this. This is the perfect consistency. This is how I like it. So now, you wanna add your cheese, your provolone and your mozzarella. It's about a cup of grated cheese, onion powder, garlic powder, I like my pizza rustica to be a little thicker. I've seen some recipes where it's more of like a quiche. I like it to be more of like a meat pie. Put this in the fridge and prepare your dough. If you don't know what a springform is, it's a pan with this little clip. It opens and closes, so it's great for cheesecake. What I recommend is to wrap the bottom in foil because even though it is pretty tight, sometimes it does leak. So before you put anything in, you do want to spray. This is a container that I just have olive oil in. You could use that Pam spray if you got, or you could just rub it with olive oil. I'm going to basically create a crust at the bottom with these crescent rolls. So I don't normally put a crust around the sides. The crispy cheese will make a crust too. So that gives you like a different texture. So you get like the flaky dough on top and then you get the crispy cheese on the sides. Okay, so this is not gonna rise much. And then you're going to do the same thing with the dough for the top. The smell of it, the look of it, just reminds me of Easter. Like I know Easter's here when I smell this. It's actually working out great. Just put a little X, just to put some holes so that air can come out. And then you're gonna do an egg wash, an egg. I like to put a little salt in my egg wash. Dippy dippy. And then just get a nice coating on it. And that's gonna make it nice and golden brown. This is called making shit happen in your kitchen, guys. If you go on the internet and you're reading a recipe, sometimes they could be very intimidating, especially someone who's not used to cooking, like elaborate things. Listen, I had the wrong dough on hands. I still made it work, it's beautiful. I'm gonna pop it in the oven. I cooked this 325 for probably like an hour. And there she is in all her glory. Come back for part 2 when I slice it.